Yo, 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 got another topic for you. And this topic is price. For those who are in sales, those who are in the market, either direction. I mean, if you're the buyer or if you're the seller, price is it. Price is what you worried about. And the beauty about price is that it is the most untangible item in the process. It doesn't mean anything. It's the most invaluable item in the process. And this is why. People don't purchase items because of the price. They feel like they do, but they don't. Everyone wants to purchase an item that is more valuable than what they're buying it for. All right, just an example. $50,000. Let's say we had a single $50,000, and I was going to buy a Honda Civic. We would say, man, that is not worth it, right? But if I'm going to get a Rolls Royce Phantom for $50,000, people would say, oh, that's a steal. I'm getting that because the item is more valuable. The same $50,000 will make sense in one item than the other just because of the value. So I say this to say, if you want to sell a product and you don't want people to haggle price with you, you have to do a better job of communicating the value of your product or service. Right? That's the only reason why people would say, nah, I don't want to do it. It's because you haven't communicated the value. If they come up with an objection, it's because you haven't satisfied a concern, right, through your education. So if you're not educating and you're not working towards satisfying concerns in your presentation, then the concerns will arise, which just makes it just puts a little speed bump in there. It's not going to end the sale, but you just want to get better so that you can influence accordingly. So that's price. Now, the other side of price is when you're going to purchase something, or let's say somebody gives you a price that they want to sell an item or whatever, you want to know where that price came from. All right? Where did you get that price from? And the reason you want to know that is you'd like to know that it is of a great value, right? So if that person's like, nah, I just felt like I should price it this, and they had no consideration of, the item's value or what it can benefit or whatever, then hey, I might not feel comfortable with that. But if that price makes sense to you, then you can move forward. But if it doesn't, or if you want to lower it, verify where they got the price from. That right there pays dividends. You'd be surprised. People will lower their price if their facts don't match your facts. Okay? Here's an example. I have a virtual assistant who makes phone calls on my behalf for real estate deals. And the guy, the person he was speaking to, offered him a price. He said, $150. I'll sell my property for $150. My virtual assistant immediately was like, nah, I'll do $90. Right? And the guy was like, okay. And that made my virtual assistant concerned. So you would think, man, he just dropped them just by saying a different price. He dropped him $60,000. The guy said, okay, why is he concerned? Because price is a myth. It's not factual. Okay? It is just up to the seller and the buyer to determine whether that price makes sense. And when my VA went back and did some research with me, we identified that the value of that house is really in the 40s. So we couldn't move on that deal despite the fact that he dropped this price to 90. he was still upside down just because he was playing the price game. And if you play the price game, you're going to lose every time. But if you identify the value of the product that you intend to purchase, the source of its value, right? For cars, we go to Kelley Blue Book. We shop around, right, to make an educated decision. Those are the best practices when it comes to, finding the best price. You have to shop around. You have to identify the market, qualify your product to see if it provides you the service that you need, and then see if there's any flexibility in supporting you getting a better deal. So, where'd you get that price from is the number one answer or response to any price that is provided to you. And if it's not under your research, you're going to challenge their research, right? So, let's say the same gentleman offers his house, he says 150. My question to him would be, where'd you get that number from? And he will say, hey, the house across the street sold for 150. Got you. And then from there, you can start to compare. So how does your house compare to that one? Right? Because you're selling it to me as is. They sold it at, HGTV condition. So then you can start to debunk the funk of that price, right? So after we identify, well, what's your house need to be repaired? And you could break them down. It needs everything. It's not updated. Kitchen, roof, bathroom, everything. You can start to debunk the funk and get that price point to where it would make sense for you to purchase that property. And if you debunk the funk with the seller or the person offering you that product, chances are they will be embarrassed that they gave you a wacko price that was unprepared. And then they most likely will elect your price after you show them why your price is valuable. Because even in that sense, you're selling them via education the value of why you need to buy it at that price point you need to buy it. And if you do that the right way, they'll give it to you. They'll give it to you for your price. And your price might be even lower than, where it could have been. But the simple act of education in sales is the reason why the successful end up making it, and the ones who don't. If you're worried about a commission, like a single commission, you're gonna fail, because you're just gonna get that one commission and be paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. But if you're focused on education and providing that service, the sky is the limit. So, price is a myth. All right. Debunk the funk when purchasing a product. Ask where it comes from. And then the other question is that the best you can do? That'll always probe to see if there's more room for you to benefit. All right. So those are just some tips based on what I've experienced that'll work out here. So if you know any more, please post it in the comments below. I'd love to get more sales tips. It's an ongoing education process to be a good salesperson, just as much as it is an ongoing education process to provide that service. All right, that's all I got for today, man. For real this time.